Bugs, this is the first sign of him kind of taking... Tex kind of gave him the reins. It is kind of interesting to note, though, that Tex hated the name Bugs Bunny because he's a wiseacre. He's a rabbit. He's not a bunny. Good Saturday morning, Doc Stalls and Dabblers. It is I, Trevor Thompson, the self-appointed Looney Tunes Critic, and this is the first commentary of 2026, and I am the worst for the wear. So we're going to start this one off with an oldie but a goodie. Some of you may remember I did this a while ago, and I don't know why, but it came down. It got taken down either by me or by YouTube or some combination of the two. But I did it a while ago. It's a first. This is the first of 2026. It's the first Bugs Bunny cartoon. At least that's what a lot of people consider it to be, myself included. So without any further ado, here's my commentary of A Wild Hare. Enjoy. Hey everybody, it's Trevor Thompson, the self-appointed Looney Tunes Critic, and we got another one of these great Looney Tunes commentaries. I call them great because they're just so big. And but we're not doing this one alone. Once again, my good friend Sean McBee, the Looney Tunes cartoon video wrangler, is sitting in with us. And Sean, this is one of the cartoons that you wanted to do. I imagine because we all love Bugs Bunny, and this is like technically his first cartoon.
Yeah, directed by Tex Avery.
And it's starring Mel Blanc and the uncredited... Well, Mel wasn't credited in this one, too. This is before he signed the deal with Leon. But it's Mel and Arthur Q. Bryan.
The largely unsung Arthur Q. Bryan.
Yeah, it's sad.
Well, everyone just assumes that Mel Blanc did the voice of Elmer Fudd, and he didn't until, was it 55?
It's an understandable assumption, though, because Mel actually did do a few things as Elmer after Arthur died. He under protest... But he did do them, and there was a credit card commercial where he's talking to the characters, and one of the characters who talks to him is Elmer, and it's Mel doing Elmer. So yeah, it's understandable, but it's so not Elmer, or it's so not Mel.
He did all the Elmer after 55. Yeah,
or 58 was when.
Yeah, whenever Arthur died.
But
this cartoon, we mentioned it in our last commentary, but. It really marks the turning point because it went from a reactive protagonist to a proactive protagonist.
Very much so. And
it made all the difference. And it was a paradigm breaker, really, in cartoons at the time. Because if you think of the big characters that were around at that time, there really weren't any proactive ones like Bugs.
No, we mentioned the word heckler. That Bugs was born out of being a heckler character like Woody Woodpecker and stuff. But and Daffy even. But those characters really aren't proactive. They have to react to something. And Bugs, this is the first sign of him kind of taking. Tex kind of gave him the reins. It is kind of interesting to note, though, that Tex hated the name Bugs Bunny because he's a wiseacre. He's a rabbit. He's not a bunny. This is I'm trying to remember what animator this is. I was trying to look up the animators. Some of my, when Clampett inherited Tex's unit after Tex left, he got all of Tex's really great animators, and including my favorite animator of all time, Rod Scribner. But it's harder to find Rod Scribner's scenes in Texas cartoons at Warner's because he and Robert McKimson arguably is Warner's best animator, are very good at solid shapes and everything like that. And so it's going to be kind of hard, but I'll try to point these out as we go along. The scenes and stuff. This close-up is McKimson. He says it like it's a slur.
Yeah. That's our word.
Oh my goodness!
And it's interesting to see the model differences. You got Bugs's football-shaped head.
Yeah.
Elmer's red nose.
Yep. Yeah. That nose is a holdover from Elmer's first incarnation of Egghead. That's like the last remaining bit of Egghead.
Yeah, and it didn't last too much longer.
No, I don't think it was after this cartoon. I don't think there was another cartoon after this where Elmer had a red nose. It's interesting.
Well, he had to be drunk to go and with Bugs Bunny.
I do think that...
and Bugs' eyelids.
It's interesting to note, too, because people don't think of Elmer as a fat character. And this is like the first time that Elmer fits this model, but Elmer started this way and ended this way, but there was a period where Clampett made him fat. So some people sometimes mistake Elmer, those fat cartoons, as being the first Elmers, and they're actually not. He's actually further along.
I always kind of think of him as fat, honestly.
It's because of Arthur Q. Bryan. Clampett decided he wanted to make it more of an homage to Arthur himself and make it look. He thought the voice worked.
His body's pretty well pear-shaped. Like you can't see it in this view. Oh, but like from
without a doubt, Elmer is doughy. Yeah, he's a doughy man. He's probably from Minnesota.
He doesn't work out with The Rock.
No. Yeah, I think that's Scribner. That looks like Scribner.
Yeah, that big ear is fantastic.
Yeah, that looks like a Scribner scene. Do you remember the first time you saw this cartoon?
No, man. I mean, I was probably 3 or something.
I don't know, man. I feel like I do.
When I was a kid, like cartoons weren't, something like mind-blowing to me when I was a kid. It was just like what you watched on the TV. It wasn't until like I became a teenager and got interested in it. And
you realized how much work was involved in making something just that you could like...
And you realize how smart the gags are.
Yeah.
As a kid, you're reacting to the big movement bits, but when you get more mature, you see that, like, look at just the subtle, slow... pulling the tail down.
Yeah.
Like,
and the great Treg Brown sound effect.
The still stuff can be the best.
Yeah. Chuck certainly lived in those quiet moments later on in his career with the eyebrow flurries.
I also want to point out these rich backgrounds.
Oh my goodness.
Because some of the later cartoons...
These are the flurries, I think, that painted these.
Some of the later cartoons, especially the Chuck ones, had really, really simplistic backgrounds.
Yeah.
Just...
Late 40s, you're talking?
Yeah, 40s and 50s.
Yeah.
And, like, look at this. This is, like... You could take these backgrounds and frame them and put them in a
diner.
Yeah, I was going to say in a hotel.
In a hotel.
Not a museum by any circumstances, but this is the kind of thing that you...
Okay, this is absolutely Robert McKimson, and I can tell you why. The angle of Elmer's head and being able to move around like that, at that angle, no other animator... I don't know about at Disney, but no other animator at Warner Brothers could do that and make it convincing.
Well, not at this point, because Tashlin had already left.
No, Tashlin was still around.
Was he? In 40?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he actually, Tashlin came and went a few times, but...
I thought he was already directing features
even
at this point.
Tashlin wouldn't have been able to draw that convincingly, and that... It's just... It's so weird when you watch this, like Ren and Stimpy really ran with that emotion of being able to laugh and also feel a little bit sad for the character at the same time. And it's an amazing thing. I don't know who did this. I think this is Izzy Ellis.
It's a real shame that Tex didn't stick around at Warner Brothers longer.
Oh my God, here it comes.
But I feel like Tex's particular, like, this is a restrained Tex.
Yeah, this is early Tex realizing that he can probably do anything.
Right. But the later Tex, the MGM Tex, really wouldn't have fit in with the Warner Brothers cartoons. Like the comedy style and the zaniness.
That's definitely Scribner. Sorry, look at those eyes and that energy in the head. That's all Scribner. I'm sorry, buddy. Didn't mean to interrupt you.
That's great. But I think leaving for MGM was the best thing that happened to Tex.
Yeah, but it would have been interesting to see how he would have influenced the studio if he had stayed. All right, folks. Thanks for watching. See you later.